Easter. Easter.
Okay, I think they get it.
Yes.
No, keep going. Keep going
No.
until you pass out.
Ass!
Dave's not ready yet.
I'll take another breath.
Tushy!
No, then you fail.
What's.
Do not take a breath. Keep saying it until you pass out.
You believe in me, Coach?
I do believe in you. I believe you're going to pass out. That's what I'm aiming for.
Good God.
We'll let you down. What's.
Okay.
Last time
Hello.
on Dragon Ball Z.
This is Dragon Ball Z. Shut up. Get out of here. I kick you out.
Damn it.
Come on.
I hate it here.
We all hate it here. Especially me, God. I also hate it here.
I don't. Damn. Last time on Dragon Ball Z,
Not you two.
Nightmare out. Then he revealed that he was God and he was angry. Then he looked over at Sorm and said, "Not you too," as his finger hovered over the ban button again. Would the Dragon Balls be enough to bring back Sorm from a second ban? Find out now on Dragon Ball Z.
Spoiler, they were not.
God damn it.
Last time, you all had a very long conversation with Eligor, one of the command units of the Guardians from the Calamity, however long ago that was. Very long ago.
He was pretty cool. He was a bro. Kind of terrifying, but in a good way.
He was big. Yes, he's big man. Big boy.
Huge man.
Huge man. He told you many things, and didn't tell you other things. And then
He told us his sister was kind of salty. She likes alligators.
This sister is kind of sad, also very strong, also is kind of the leader of the Lizardmen, so probably don't fuck with her, I guess.
Maybe.
Probably.
We'll see.
And then his other sibling is, he's not sure where he is. If he's even still alive.
Yes. But Lyle is terrified of him because he's big, even if he's nice. Also, we learned that Otto is apparently the god or something. The original. The Alpha and the Omega.
Otto appears to have been the prototype, perhaps, of all of this. Of all of these things.
Yep, his name was Rock, Danny.
What a twist.
You were told that if you seek weapons that will help you fight the Cladis, that you should go to...
Mountain.
I just looked at it. The mountains. Which mountains? The Sunghung Mountains.
Yeah, that guy.
Where the sages live.
We're gonna be fast traveled there.
We gotta...
Well, you're gonna fast travel out of the desert.
We gotta climb the mountain to find the punk rock monk at the very top of the very tall mountain, so we can get our fucking replica of the Nevin.
That's right. That's right. That's correct.
Can't wait.
Let's make sure we don't get any elevators that accidentally launch us to the planet of the Western Chicken. That would be bad.
It might be kind of lit. As long as it's not like Western Emu, it'll be fun.
Emu.
Deputy McEmu.
This is going into the lore.
It was a very thrilling session. We were all on the edge of our seat. It was great.
Then we got cliffhangered by California Roll getting got.
Oh,
yes, we ended off the camera seeing that California Roll just saw something spooky. And who knows what happened after that.
I'm sure it's fine.
Probably not. I'm sure it's fine.
Probably. Knowing you.
What? No,
Yep,
what
totally
do you,
fine.
what do you mean?
What are the odds that it's terrible and
You know
terrifying?
exactly what I mean, motherfucker.
I don't. I don't know what you mean at all. I do nothing but nice things to people and their bodies.
Is that right? Is that right?
I never describe anything awful with my words.
Mm, ah. You know, I smell a liar. Uh-oh.
Don't worry, I just moved you to this map.
Okay,
This
that could
is
be.
more relevant now.
So we are here in House Cat,
Yes, you're in House Cat.
and we want to be up here.
That's right. You want to go over here to Sunhung, to the mountains of Sunhung, to find the sages that live amongst the mountains.
Sounds
To
cool.
seek enlightenment through the matters of the soul.
Cool.
Where the Emperor once got a bunch of shit from them, probably, presumably. Because who knows with that guy, that weird motherfucker.
I
Damn
know
sure
one
it's
way to
fun.
find out.
What's that? Is it just it's just to reach into the bag and pull out random shit more?
Indeed.
I still want to find his tomb and talk with Dead on his corpse.
You want to find his corpse? and
I
talk-
want to react an Emperor Storm, yes, and talk to his corpse.
Hell fucking yes. Let's go. I'm here for
But
this.
he's not dead. I'm right
Oh,
here.
yeah.
No one knows what happened to the Emperor. He just disappeared one day. Ooh.
He went into another universe. It's fine.
He fell into the turlet.
The quest for Ass continues in World 2.
Mirror World.
Mirror World. Dark China.
Fuck.
All right. Well, you guys, can technically have any further conversations with Eligord if you want. But that kind of felt like we got to a conclusion, unless you have more questions.
I guess I feel
I'm good.
pretty good about it.
I think we're pretty good, yeah. He also made that, he also turned the evil genie dagger into a wish dagger.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
He pacified
That's
the
great,
genie.
yeah.
He pacified him. Genie's still in there. Genie can still fuck you. But he has been disciplined.
Oh my.
Wait. The genie has a dick?
Don't they all?
Yes, the genie
I mean,
has
it was a
dick.
dude.
Probably, yeah.
Of course,
I
the
mean-
genie has a dick. What are you talking about?
Why?
I don't know, I just assumed it didn't, reproduce.
What do you think that long
That's
wispy
your
thing that
mistake.
comes off, dangles off the bottom of the genie is?
You don't think he would wish himself a dick if he wanted one?
No.
I just got an idea for how I could use this dagger.
No.
Oh no.
Like,
Well,
hilarious. All right. Well, if no one has any questions, then I suppose you are given leave to head to Sun Hong at your discretion. Is there
All right.
anything you want to do in House Cat before you go?
You don't think that Latte will marry me, do you?
No.
All right.
Her husband died 2 days ago.
Yeah,
Calm
It's-
yourself.
sounds like he's out of the picture. But all right, whatever.
Take a drink of water, my dude.
My God, Jesus Christ!
I know it's a desert, but sheesh, the thirst.
Just saying,
Hey, we're in a desert. Thirst kills.
it's
You gotta
true.
quench that thirst.
He's right. Listen to the man.
Just go to a brothel, you fucker.
I
Don't
think
worry.
I could spare everybody that scene. Thank you, but I appreciate the thought.
Are you suggesting that you I should always assume you go to a brothel when you have free
No,
time?
I didn't say that, but I mean it's a
Right.
reasonable assumption.
I
But
see.
There's a better question. Are there brothels in House Cat?
Yes.
hell yes. I already did the whole thing where I went to a spa, got treated, had women doting on me. That's fine. I'm good.
It's true. He did do that.
We did do
Follow-up
that.
question: are the workers in the brothel the robot golem people, or are they goat people?
Oh
Or
shit.
both?
I'm gonna say you get what you pay for.
Answer carefully.
You get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. That's the correct answer.
Okay, so sex androids exist.
Hmm.
No.
Okay.
All right, I'm
Interesting.
kiboshing that.
Hold
I'm
on.
kiboshing that.
Hold on.
I'm scratching that out.
How do
I
I
mean,
acquire one of these
You
cores?
get what you pay for.
They can't make an android look enough like a person that would be good.
That's true.
I guess.
Well,
I don't
well,
know. You might
I don't
be a
know.
freak. I don't fucking know.
Hold up.
Let's
That-
get real Amazonian real quick.
You know, let's not even go there. Let's say if everybody else has finished their business in House Cat, then I'm good.
I'm gonna assume that he ordered a fembot, but like the Crushinator from Futurama came out, the giant fucking vending machine.
Oh yes.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. So, onward through the desert.
All right, you set off. You retrieve your carts. That was a thing you have, and I didn't forget about this time. Ha 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 ha. Being pulled by lizards, because I believe that's what they're being pulled by, is
That's
lizards.
what you said, yeah.
That was what was requested.
Wonder lizards.
Yes, one of the lizards. All right. More for fun. Someone give me a roll to determine how the trip out of the desert goes.
I got
Me,
you,
I
bro.
want to do it.
No, I got it.
No, me. No,
It's my
me.
turn.
Well, you can both
fine.
roll. You both can roll.
I'm the one who rolls.
Auto rolled
that-
already.
Fuck.
You've rolled the same fucking
Well.
thing.
Nice.
Quit copying me.
You quick up in me. You start. I said it first.
I did it first.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, that means that you had a mostly uneventful trip out of the desert. But maybe something happens. Hold on. I'm going to look at this table I have of nightmares.
Uh-oh.
Don't say that.
Leave me out of this.
Nightmare, what did you get us into?
I didn't do it this time, I swear to God.
It's your
You're the one who
fault.
rolled a 7, dipshit.
Whatever happens.
No, I rolled a 7. You rolled a 7.
You rolled a 7.
It's your fault.
Let's see. Okay. Since you both rolled the 7, I'm just.
I think it's fair to go with the 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 7. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 of you. So technically, I can do this for 1d5.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, I hope that's good.
Green number is good, right?
Green is good usually.
Tori, I have good news.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
He said good news, guys. Just hang on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say good news? I was lying. I apologize.
Oh no.
You, on your trip through the desert, it's long. It's fucking. It sucks. Not gonna lie. Traveling through the desert ain't great. Even if, as you have like a mostly uneventful trip in terms of weather, it's still fucking hot, and then it's still fucking horribly cold. The two extremes are not fun to deal with. So it gets
Damn
kind of
you.
stressful. And then
Uh-oh.
one night, you go to bed. And then during the night, you're kind of laying down. Maybe someone else is keeping watch. You're taking your shift of rest.
Scorpion's in the bedroll.
I'm snoring. I'm
You're out.
Tori's out cold.
Baja's out cold.
I'm thinking how to
Yeah.
frame this
Oh.
correctly.
The idea of sleeping sounded so good to Maj that he went to bed right on the spot.
Very, very true. It does sound very nice. You hear a noise outside the tent, outside the cart. It wakes you up
Uh-oh.
in the dead of night.
It wasn't me, I swear to God.
Noise outside the tent in the middle of the night woke me up.
Mhm. Correct.
Okay.
Who's keeping watch?
I'm gonna.
And are they doing a good job?
Doesn't
Probably. Yeah, I was gonna say by default, I feel like the owl and Otto should always be keeping watch.
That's true. Why do we even
Well-
have to have shifts? God damn it, Otto.
Well, I'm gonna ignore what everybody
Company,
else is
obviously,
saying,
Because
so
Otto's
that I
just a
can
kid.
so I can do this thing. I'm gonna get up and try and investigate the noise.
All right. You climb out of the cart, go examine. There's a little campfire you've all made outside. There are a couple people who have taken watch. Otto is there. Well, actually, you just see the back of Otto.
Oh.
Oh,
Looking into the fire.
Oh, he's losing it.
Otto,
Urge to kill rising.
Otto, are you all right? Where's the bird?
Otto doesn't respond.
Hey, Otto. Otto.
Otto doesn't say anything. Otto doesn't move.
Uh-oh.
And you're certain that someone else should be on shift, but it's just Otto. There's no one else outside the cart.
Otto, I'm gonna shove Otto a little bit to get his attention.
Oh, you're gonna. Okay, hold on.
I don't like the way he's laughing.
You approach Otto to give him a shove. You put your hand on Otto's shoulder and you kind of give him a shove. Except when you put your hand on Otto's shoulder, you realize it's not cold to the touch. In fact, you don't touch metal. You touch skin.
What the?
Oh,
Oh, God.
What the fuck?
He's finally snapped and is wearing Lyle's fucking coat.
You look at Otto as he stares into the fire, and you realize that something is very wrong. The shadows from the fire, where he was obscured because he was blocking the light. As you look closer, you see Otto's shape. However, you see other parts too. You see feathers, you see skin, you see eyes. Instead of just the glowing lights of Otto's face, you see eyes. Kind of mixed together in different shades. You see mouths slowly gathering together where Otto's mouth should be, wrapping around it. You see beneath whatever metal remains is the strange twitching as something tries to take shape beneath the armor.
What the fuck?
It turns to you and he says, in the voice of everyone in the party at once, saying, "Help me."
no.
And then he reaches and grabs your hand, and then your hand starts to become part of his hand. And it starts to grow over you and starts to overtake you before you have any chance to react. And you're slowly overcome, and then you fall out of the cart.
Wait, attack!
Fuck. What the fuck? Is it still nighttime?
Yes,
I just had a nightmare.
you sure
I
did.
was gonna look over the side of the cart.
Screaming still a free action.
Yeah.
Well, are you asleep? You have no. This doesn't happen to you. You're fine. Your sleep is good.
I'm gonna look at Otto and then I'm gonna instinctively reach for my weapon. But since I was asleep and it's probably still in the cart, I don't have it. Then I'm gonna kind of realize, so I was asleep. Hi, Otto. How are you doing? Are you okay over there?
Yes. Are
Why don't
you okay?
Why don't you show me your face?
I'm looking at you.
So you are.
Right, opening your eyes.
Sorry.
I want to roll discern realities on
Okay.
on the robot.
Okie dokie.
Nice.
Like, you have 3 questions, I guess.
What happened here recently?
You had a fucked up dream, my man. The
Oh.
stress of this desert's gotten to you. It's too hot, and then it's too fucking cold. And it's fucking freaking you out. And it's been a rough time.
What should be on the lookout for?
Getting some fucking sleep, you fucking weirdo.
What here is not what it appears to be.
Auto.
Auto. Yeah, I'm gonna say
Oh,
auto.
shit.
Oh no.
What does that mean? I don't know.
I guess I had a bad dream is all.
So is
How does
Tori
it
like bolted upright at this point, or?
Well, she fell out of the cart. She snapped up and then fell backward out of the cart.
Oh,
Yeah, she's
She might have
sitting on
waked
it.
Reach out his hand to try and help you up.
Yeah, take his
Owl's
hand.
gonna fly down and land on your head. And just
Yeah, I
look
was
down
gonna
at you weirdly.
Sherikan was also like just kind of staring like a confused puppy.
Why are there so many critters around here? She's gonna look at Otto's hand, hesitate, then just kind of grab it.
I'm gonna help you up. Back into the cart.
Okay. I'm going back to bed.
Boss
Just kind
most
of walks
loudly.
over from after kind of reaching the end of his round around the camp and is just scratching his head at the scene. What the hell happened here?
Adam's like, stupid feather fucking bird bitch.
Stupid crazy bitch. Alright. Well, that's fun. I'm gonna need to think
Was
of
it
one.
fun?
For me, it was.
I
I
had
love
fun.
driving horrible things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Feel
do.
good.
Oh, you do.
I do. I
Yeah,
know.
for me, it was all the mouths forming into one.
That was the thing that freaked you out.
Yes.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
Don't tell him which parts freak you out, because he'll just add more.
It wasn't
Do
the
it
fleshy
again.
bits forming underneath his little body and then becoming a fleshy person.
No.
I like
Made
the
of,
way
made of all your friends.
he was like puddling, then he sort of formed a person.
Yokunayo.
Yokudayu. All right. Well, with that little fun little bit of it out of the way, your most of your sleep, the rest of your sleep is, well, you probably have a hard time sleeping after that, but you do
No, I won't.
eventually. And then you
I
wake
slept
up.
through the whole thing. It was fine.
Hey,
I'm
you were
good.
fine. You're
In fact,
fine.
this sounds like a nightmare I've had before.
I was dreaming about latte.
Of course he was.
You would be. You fucking house wrecker. Home wrecker.
Turn into
But-
a bad dream.
You continue the journey out of the desert. And after probably a few days, it's a long ways to be fair. It's gonna take you a while, but eventually you reach the edge of the desert, and you start crossing into some of the not badlands, but the plains, heading to Songhong. About right here. That's House Cat. I wanted this one. There we go.
Hmm. Icon.
Mhm.
Icon.
Yes. As you
Is
approach
it?
Sunhung, you see it's getting cold. It's kind of more cold as on the regular, but it's not as bad as the desert was by far.
Yay.
But it's more like southern Zhao, except for the cold.
A little chilly.
You don't. You
High
cross the
elevation.
border about
Shut
yeah.
up, Nightmare.
Sorry.
Yeah, Peter, shut the fuck up.
You cross the border without any trouble. There's surprisingly not terribly a bunch of guard at the border. Seems that most people don't expect people coming out of the desert, as most fare appears to travel by boat into Songhong. As those who are local would know, wait, only the person who's local are Tori and Otto technically, but Otto's a baby, so I guess only Tori would really know, and I don't think Tori pays attention to that. But you know that, Tori. Ha ha ha
I know what.
ha. Nothing. Exactly. You know nothing.
I'm
That's
all.
fine.
I'm still razzled from my dream earlier.
You tell me to shut the fuck up, and then you don't even pay attention to what he's saying.
I was listening. I just didn't grasp it or understand what he meant.
In fairness, I wasn't quite sure where he was going with that either.
This is one of the moments where I listen and I'm just like, huh. I'll catch it in the recording later.
Roll discern
No,
realities
you won't.
on whatever Marjorie said. He's saying that you're a local, so you're kind of aware of this place, and it's how it rolls.
I'm a
Mom would
local.
know.
I'm a local of Sunhung. I'm not from Sunhung.
You're local from
You're
this
local
fucking
now.
continent, dipshit.
Zhao.
Fine, I would know this area then is fucking piece of shit. Leave me alone.
But
Yes.
the only things on the border are a couple checkpoints with like a measly amount of guards. You do take note of a fortress in the distance near the base of the mountain that starts there. The mountain range that spans this entire portion of Sunhong. You do see a fort there that's presumably monitors the border, but doesn't really seem to be super interested in patrolling it and guarding it super directly beyond just monitoring, as people don't typically expect people to march to the desert to get there, as most travel and whatnot to Sunfeng happens across the coast through ships and such.
This place is
Eh,
boring, is what you're trying to say.
how dare you?
I'm sorry. I take it back.
But, uh, well, hmm,
Is the fort the
um,
only like seemingly approachable landmark in the distance at this point, or does it seem like there are other paths?
there are definitely roads heading into Sunhong. This isn't like there's no roads heading from the desert, or at least at some point you can find a checkpoint that has a road leading inward to the continent or the nation. Uh, the fortress is the most notable landmark at the distance. There is a port town on this river over here that you find out about through some signpostages and maps that are on the checkpoint and on various signs as you make your way through Sunhung. And then there's also kind of paths leading heading to the mountains of Sunhung. But you don't really know exactly where you're going, so
Um, are there any other cities, or is it just mostly like fishing villages, farming areas?
The major cities you learn are more up north, kind of up near this lake up here, or the major cities are up here, and basically around the mountains are just a bunch of villages and small towns.
Well, we're looking for weapon makers, right? So if they don't have a forge, or we ought to be able to see smoke rising or something like that. This fishing village probably isn't the right place, but maybe they could guide us to where it is if we ask around.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, I feel like the fort would be less than hospitable, potentially.
Well,
It'd ask a
how
lot of
about
questions.
I think that since we're close to the fort, we should ask around there first, then go to the villages if we can't find what we need.
Yeah, we're just adventurers. We're not a hostile army. They have no reason to treat us with suspicion.
Couldn't hurt to stop in one of the villages along the way to the fort and ask around about the fort, make sure the fort's a friendly place.
Restock.
So long as we feel like it's not likely that a certain someone's made their way through here yet. This
No
may not
idea.
be friendly. May not be friendly lands anymore.
All right,
Hmm.
so I'm assuming heading toward the fort then.
Seems like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
You begin to guide the cart up the road toward the fort, heading closer to the mountains. And as you approach the mountains, you realize kind of the scope of this mountain range. The mountains on this side are not quite as tall, but you can see that the further down the range you go, the taller they get, to the point where they pierce the sky, almost, it seems like. They are tall as fuck. This is probably one of the tallest mountain ranges in Zhao.
It's very beautiful here.
Mm-hmm. And as you approach the fort, you see some of the guards dressed in the colors of. Ooh, what were the colors of? Oh no! Fuck! Hold on. What were they? Red! That's right. They were red. So you see these guards dressed in red uniforms and red armor. Emblazoned with like icons of fire and flames emblazoned upon their like armor and the shoulder pads. There's some are standing at the gate. There's a couple standing on the watchtowers to the side of the gate. They see you approach. One kind of holds up a hand, signaling for you to stop.
Greetings. We are attempting to cross over into Sunhung. Sunhung? Sunhung. Is there a reason you're stopping us?
Well, you're approaching the fort. Just have to make sure everything's all right before we permit you entry. Check on who you are and what you're carrying and all that.
I'm gonna look back at the rest of the crew and kind of just nod. Well, I don't think we have anything to hide.
Absolutely not.
Gazelle waves Barry.
Sweet
Anna's
mother.
just silently staring at the mountain range.
Is that a troll? Is that a Noni? What the fuck is that? Okay, and just
It's just a goblin. It's fine. It's not gonna hurt anyone.
I'm not talking about a goblin.
Oh,
I'm talking
you
about
mean-
that. Points at Gazelle's staff.
oh, that. Yeah, it's
That's
goblin
a-
adjacent.
Why?
That's my
Sometime.
friend.
What? Its name is Barry? Your staff's... This corpse on your staff, his name's Barry? Then Barry makes
Not
a
a
noise.
corpse.
Mer. And he screams. Whoa!
Why would you
He
call
falls
Barry
out.
a corpse?
He
He's
falls
my
out.
friend.
He falls out of the cart.
Damn.
The other guard looks concerned. He just kind of walks over and helps him up. And then he also looks in and it's like, ugh.
Is that illegal?
They stop. They start thinking. They look at each other. I guess. No.
Cool.
Could there be a law against something that nobody's been stupid enough to do before?
The other reason they have warning labels.
Yeah.
Well, okay, just excuse me. And he climbs back on the cart. He just kind of gives Barry and Gazelle a wide berth as he starts examining your belongings. Just a cursory inspection. He doesn't start like tearing through your bags. He just kind of looks over. He asks you to show him your gear, anything unusual you might have, what you can or cannot show him.
Does my movable rod count as unusual?
No, it's a rod. Unless you tell him it's a movable rod, I guess.
Sweet.
Yeah, Adam just kind of displays his gear with no real issue. We're just passing through. We want to know more about the Emperor's journey, the Emperor's past, and we hear that
Soul weapons.
there's what's
Sorry.
that?
Oh, you're one of those groups, huh?
Yeah.
Trying
Yeah.
to
Tourists.
follow in the Emperor's footsteps, huh?
You got
Yeah.
it.
We'd also heard about some legendary blacksmiths.
Oh, you mean the sages on the mountain?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an old story. Who knows if that's even true? Who knows? But if-
You guys
hey,
never
if
you guys
wanna
never
go-
checked?
What? You think we climb up the mountain to check?
Uh,
You know how tall the mountain is?
It's kind of hoping.
God, no.
Wow. I
Fair enough.
didn't know you guys were chicken.
Yeah,
Someone should maybe ask what this fort is protecting then, if they've never been up there. Not me though.
I'm pretty sure you'd find a chicken if you went to the mountain.
Oh, the mountain
maybe-
chicken? Yeah, well, yeah, we hunt those. We hunt the mountain chicken, of course.
You guys got mountain. Oh, this is gonna be good. I'm
We
glad we
got
came
mountain
here.
chickens, yeah, they're delicious.
Nice. So what do you guys do here then?
Oh, this post is, and he like kind of looks through one of your bags, just kind of idly. This post is for like mainly watching the border and making sure nothing untoward or, an army doesn't somehow manage to cross through the desert over our border. That kind of thing.
What are the odds of that happening?
Not high. I mean, that's why I'm not freaking. It's
You guys seem chill. I
probably
like you.
be more thrill. Well, I appreciate that.
What's your name, bud?
You guys. What is my name? Hold on, I was just looking at the list of names.
His name is Catsup.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh,
This is my buddy.
His name is Aleki.
Kimchi?
What?
His name is
Lecky?
Aleki.
Robert Malecki?
You feeling lucky, punk?
Lucky. Lick your tongue.
Write it, please.
Yeah, please. Document it for the masses. Aleki.
I did. I put
Oh,
in
okay.
Discord now.
Aleki. Charmed. I'm
Yeah.
Sean. Nice to meet you.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Sean. He shakes your hand.
Mm.
It's like, well, we don't usually get adventurers coming to the desert that often. That doesn't happen that often. Usually they come from sea. So, you're either crazier or tougher than most. So that's good.
I
Probably,
wager
if you're
both.
going up the mountain.
Definitely both.
Good to know. Good to know. All right, this seems good. All right, and he kind of heads to the front of their cart and waves to the guards in the watchtower. One of them nods and then goes to like open the gate.
Sweet.
And the gate starts to open as he pulls a lever. He's like, all right, go ahead and pull on in.
Thanks. See you.
Appreciate
Catch you on the rebound, Aleki.
Well, he rides with you as you head inside.
Oh, well, cool. What a guy.
it.
An escort.
As the gates open, it kind of opens up to a large courtyard that's got some stalls. It appears that some other travelers have come and stopped here and seem to be peddling wares to the soldiers here. And just kind of taking a stop, selling what they can before they move on. There's not too many. There's like a couple. Some people are selling some fruit. There's another person selling some knickknacks that some soldiers are looking at. It seems pretty chill, frankly.
Cool.
Well, we could gather supplies here. Maybe we could just take a couple days trip through the desert. Might be a good time to stock up again.
You're probably right about that.
If you guys want to ask about the mountain and stuff, there's some older folks here. Some guys who've been here a while that might know some more. Gather some stories.
Yeah, we like stories.
They're mostly full of shit, though, I'm going to be honest.
Wow. Thanks for being honest. I
Well.
appreciate your honesty.
Well, they're good dudes. They're just, on the older side.
Yeah, they're
Or
windbags.
just
I
full
get
of
it.
shit.
Luckily, we eat that kind of stuff up.
Well, good for you. All right. You guys are good. Just make sure to not causing a ruckus. Otherwise, we'll have to throw you in our brig.
That definitely won't be necessary.
Thanks.
You got it, Sean. All right. And he hops off.
I'm gonna shoot a finger gun at this guy. Give him a wink.
He
Auto waves.
mimes it. He mimes the finger guns without understanding what that means.
Outsiders are
does-
weird.
Does it back to you saying, these fucking foreigners are weird.
Whatever. Haters gonna hate, man.
So, where to next then, Sean?
Yeah, Sean.
There is like just a
Brothel?
wall sprung. What'd you say?
Brothel?
There's no
No.
brothel here.
You guys asked. That was my suggestion.
Well,
It's
I
for-
mean, a brothel would be a good place to get information.
There's got to be
Though I
like.
don't think it should be the first place we should look.
All right. Well, this is a fort. They got to have a place to, booze up the soldiers. That seems like a good place. Alcohol makes for loose tongues.
All right, we'll find a bar.
Do we need to do
So-
a roll to see if there's something like that, or just
No, I'm not
Okay.
gonna make you roll to find where they have all the drinks are, because that's silly.
Yay.
that's fair?
So the walls of the fort, it's a decently sized fort. So the walls extend for a ways. There's several buildings inside. One definitely looks like it's the central area that appears to be more heavily guarded. There is another section to that building that heads out a little further to the south of this fort that kind of opens up to this open air kind of cafeteria, it looks like. It's looks like it has not curtains, but like walls that you can pull in or out depending on the season to have it like be open air or enclosed. And currently it's open air.
Hmm.
So like there's chairs and tables where people are sitting and eating and talking. Some people are soldiers, and there are a couple of people that don't just look like travelers that are just kind of lounging about in this cafeteria area. It appears to be like where people are just kind of allowed to congregate if they're not of this fort.
Hmm.
And then there's a building up to the north that's kind of a bit more spread out. Maybe it's the barracks, maybe it's also the armory. It's hard to say, but it's connected to that central building that's definitely the most important building in the fort. It definitely appears to be, but you don't know if that's where the armory is or the barracks exactly is. There is another building
I'll
closer
be
to
right
the
back.
gates that are looks like they were little newer. Kind of looks like you see some just regular people going in and out. There's like one guard at the door who doesn't seem to be really paying much mind to who enters and goes. You kind of gather that that's perhaps where like people who are not stationed here or not just travelers can stay there and sleep. That appears to be like a community barracks. I guess is the would it would still be a barracks, I guess.
Hmm. Okay.
But yeah,
Well, this place looks delightfully dull.
yes, that is accurate.
So let's see. We've got no brothels and soldiers and old people to commune with. And maybe a little bit of alcohol.
I'm back.
That's an easy choice for me.
Elders do tend to be a good source of local lore.
Yeah, it's not where I was going with this, but I guess we could go talk to the old people.
Adam shrugs.
All right, you're gonna find some old people to chat up.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around, see if I spot anybody that looks old.
Hmm. You spot a few. Some people are just kind of not elderly, but definitely like a bit more middle-aged. Got some gray in them. Some soldiers. There's like two guys that are definitely on the elderly side. They're kind of sitting in the cafeteria, eating very slowly and
Okay.
drinking.
Like slow motion, like fucking turtle mode. Damn.
Just taking the time.
Do I see anything that
there's another-
resembles like a mahjong parlor or a fucking Denny's at 6 in the morning?
Yeah, where's Cracker Barrel?
There is a fairly old gentleman near a booth where he's like has his cart set up and is like converted into a temporary stall. He doesn't have any customers, but he's sitting in front of his stall on a small stool, looking over a table that looks like some sort of game. He's kind of idly moving pieces around.
Okay. Hold on, I got this. Fucking every time.
GG.
All right, Lyle, what do you do to make yourself look suspicious?
I guess I walk up to this guy and I'm smiling a little too much and being like, "Hey, buddy, what you doing? What you got going on over here?"
He slowly looks up, stares at you with like these old eyes. It looks like they're just piercing into your soul.
I smile nervously. Hey.
I'm playing a game.
You look like you could use a friend. I love games.
Let me know when I can find one.
Wow. All right.
Ooh.
Ice
That's an
cold.
old guy for you.
He looks back down to the game and stops paying any attention to you.
All right. I'm gonna take a step back and look back at Tori and Adam. And be like, yeah, it's tough crowd.
Why don't you just talk to him instead of trying to do whatever you're trying to do? We're just trying to get information.
Well, I was, but I don't think he likes me. I can't imagine why.
Adam, you go talk to him. I'm gonna shove at him.
Adam sort of staggers forward for a second and kind of looks and sees that the rest of the group's just standing back.
I'm gonna smirk and be like, yeah, we're gonna let this guy do it. Adam's gonna go and make friends with the old man, the scariest guy in our crowd.
Adam
This ought to
just
be good.
Shrugs and makes his way over. He kind of looks over at the stall briefly and says, "Hey, it looks like you got a shop here. Are you selling anything?"
If you think it looks like a shop, what do you think? He doesn't look up at you as he answers that question.
Nice.
Well, sure, but
Strike
what
that
have you
up.
got?
He kind of moves a piece, and then he gestures at the stall. You have eyes, don't you? And you look at the stall, and I'll just kind of give you a description of the kind of things that are there.
Yep.
They're nothing like. There's like some carved things, some carved figures. There's some small knickknacks of like, not jewelry, but like things handcrafted to look, things you could wear to be considered jewelry. There's no actual jewels. Just like a lot of woodworking and little intricate like things that are put together to be like something interesting to wear. Some carved figurines of like birds and animals and some mystical things. Nothing crazy. Looks like he just sells knickknacks if you had to summarize it.
Any that look like resemble dragons?
Oh yes.
Mm.
There
Alright,
is
so-
one figure that is you think looks like a dragon, but you kind of know, just kind of from being from Zhao for a bit, that this is not what typically people describe a dragon around here looks like.
Does it look like a lizard man?
No,
Okay.
it's kind of strange. Even for like being, you can recognize the shape as like a draconic in like kind of shape and idea, but like it's kind of weirdly smooth. It's kind of just kind of, he has it built so it's kind of standing on as though it's just kind of floating in the air. Its wings are like solid in one piece. They don't really seem to bones. And like the wings are kind of textured in an interesting way, like almost like bug wings. Its head is kind of doesn't. Its like jaws kind of molded into its head, so you can't really see exactly where its mouth starts. It's got these weirdly kind of deep eyes that are kind of just like kind of give you a haunting gaze.
Mm.
Like they just look right through you.
So it's nothing Adam would have seen before then.
In terms of a dragon you've seen before, no, you've never seen a dragon like
Or
this
even
before.
like creature like this before.
No, but you can. It looks like kind of like the vibe you get is like this kind of looks like a dragon if you had to summarize it.
Okay.
It's not very big. It's kind of lanky.
Adam's gaze kind of lingers on that particular figure for a moment, and before he looks back to the old man, can you tell me more about this one?
He kind of looks up and looks at the figure.
Rather interesting.
That's the denizen of the mountains.
Uh-oh.
Oh, is that so? How much for it?
He looks at you. He kind of looks you up and down. Hmm. He like you see the gears shaking his head. It's like he's trying to think of a number. Like he doesn't have a decided number on his set. He's just trying to, how much could I charge you for?
I see.
50 gold.
Hmm.
50
Adam looks
gold.
over at it. Just kind of seems to be pondering. This is a pretty interesting trinket. Adam just kind of shrugs and nods. Sure.
He stops. Like, what, really?
I come from a rather faraway land, and this would be interesting to show my people back home.
You have 50 gold?
Adam just chuckles. Yeah?
Clicks his tongue. Damn it. Alright, that's the price I said.
Adam
You gotta
hands
hold-
over the 50 gold.
Alright. He kind of gestures a hand toward it. It's yours. Take it.
350.
Thank you very much. Adam takes the trinket off of the rack and just kind of looks at it more closely and looks it over.
It's like very good. Like it's really well made.
Adam just kind of smiles and looks back at the man. So you said this was like the denizen of the mountain? Do you know any stories about it?
Of course. Most children in Sunhung know some stories about it. And the older folk are the ones who keep the stories alive. So that the kids, when they get old, can tell some random traveler about it, presumably. And so on and so forth.
Would you mind?
It's, looks up and sees now everyone's kind of crowded around the stall. Presumably, they kind of all scooched closer to hear this conversation.
Watching with interest.
Well, shit. Oh, all right. Don't crowd me. Take a seat. Goodness.
Story time! Lyle's gonna squat down, low to the ground, just chilling.
Oh, this guy is a Genji, by the way.
Pointy
He's not-
ears.
Pointy ears. He's old though. He's very old.
Damn.
I
Wrinkles.
feel like I had a friend
white
who
hair.
was similar to you.
Were
Then
the
they
soldiers at the fort also Genji?
A couple Genji, a couple humans, a couple Zyran, so a couple Go people.
Okay, so it's not a primarily Genji
No,
location.
no. There's a lot of Genji and Zhao just in general. But okay. So the Dunes of the Mountains. A long time ago, back when Zhao first formed and the Genji and civilization started, the gods, you know, as they do, formed the land, crafted as they would. We walked onto what they left behind and discovered that these mountains were occupied by this creature left behind from their work. People have tried to enter the mountains, to see this creature, to perhaps speak with it, believing it's a god of itself, a god itself, and were rebuffed, destroyed in the worst case by its fury. It is not a violent creature. It doesn't seek out to destroy or anything like that. It doesn't terrorize villages. It's been called a dragon, but it's hard to say that's what it really is. When people settled in Sanhong and began to build shrines to the gods, any who built a shrine too close to Sanhong, the mountains of Sanhong, would find it assaulted by this dragon, this creature, this denizen. He would not permit a shrine to be built around the mountain. It is believed that at one point this creature existed when the gods existed, and it had claimed these mountains as its own, and kept the gods from entering it, and simply was antagonistic toward them, perhaps kept them at bay for all those years.
Sounds kind of evil.
I guess, I suppose.
We're territorial.
But eventually, the sages way long ago made their way up the mountain and did not return. It's believed that from some clear nights when the clouds are clear of the head of the mountains, that you could see their forges lit. So it appears that the sages now live alongside this creature on the top of the mountain. At least that's what's believed to have occurred. And that's what the stories of the Emperor's trip up to the mountaintop would let you believe, but who knows if that's even true.
I see.
Interesting. So let's say, hypothetically, if you were a tourist who wanted to climb the mountain and see the forge, which particular mountain would be the coolest to climb?
If you want to find the forges of the sages, you have to climb to the tallest one, I'm afraid.
No. Couldn't have been the short one.
Well, that wouldn't make things very interesting, would it?
No, I guess not, but still.
Sure wouldn't.
Sages are kind of jerks like that.
I mean, yeah, actually, yeah. What kind of weirdo goes to the top of a mountain?
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
There's nothing weird about it.
Sorry.
Many
I
people
guess
go to the top of mountains.
Yeah, going. Yeah. No offense.
You were up on top of a mountain, like for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but like, that's different.
Yes, little one.
Was it?
Looks at the goblin.
So were you saying something?
Napano's kind of been zoned out for a lot of this conversation, looking up at the top of the mountain, but when everyone kind of gathers around the merchant to hear the story, like they come into. And I'm kind of looking at the trinket that Adam just bought. Can I spout lore, and do I know anything more about this particular variety of dragon?
Give me a roll. 7.
Hmm.
I'm not sure exactly where you would know this little bit of information. So I'm going to let you determine kind of where you learned this. But maybe at some point you got curious about dragons for whatever reason. I don't know. But there was a point in time where a so dragons have existed for a long time. And dragons have existed since time immemorial. But in the in how do I know what I want to say, but I'm trying to figure out the words to say it without saying too much. It's hard.
That's what she said.
So, I guess what I'm wondering, the way you described this dragon as different from what we normally conceptualize dragons, and so in my mind, I'm thinking of like, the Western dragons and knights versus like the Eastern variety, more long and serpentine. Is it something like that, or?
It's kind of like it's that kind of difference. Like this looks like a dragon if you're familiar with traditional, more Western dragons in that way, but it doesn't look quite like those. It's too sleek. It's too like kind of smooth. Its
Buggy.
design on its scales and its wings is unusual, and its wings are unusual.
Wyvern?
No, it has 4 arms and 2 wings,
Okay.
or 2 arms and 2 legs and 2 wings.
I guess what's resonating with me is the idea of a dragon roosting on top of a very tall mountain. And I'm wondering if there's some connection to the stories of my people. Or if this is something entirely different and I shouldn't read into it.
I don't see dragons like this on my mountain. Or I guess they might only be here in Sunhung.
Looks kind of like a beetle, if you ask me.
I think you know what a beetle looks like.
Well, it's,
Okay.
it's a really demented one, but...
Gazelle feeds Barry a berry and comments, I wonder if we can talk to him.
Okay. Here's the thing
You want to talk to
spout
the
lore
dragon?
about. The thing
Yeah.
you spout lore about is that there are Western dragons, those dragon kinds of dragons exist. There are Eastern dragons that exist, but there are also dragons that are older than that. There are dragons that show up at various places in various shrines, and maybe you know of one. Maybe your people, have been to one. Maybe you have some connection to one. But there are dragons that are older than anyone can remember, that are kind of held in the same regard as a god.
One might call them elder dragons.
I
One
slap you.
might.
I slap Gazelle across the face. The GM reaches into the game and slaps Gazelle across the face.
Gazelle didn't even say anything. That was me.
Well, this is what Gazelle gets for your words.
Still pays for Ed's sins.
That's right.
So it's just like, oh, where'd that come from?
All right. Well, that's given me a lot to think about. I'm just gonna stare kind of silently at the statue and listen to the old man some more.
If you want to head to the head of the mountain, just be sure to not take any religious things with you. Those pilgrims and such tend to end up destroyed or dead, or they die from climbing the mountain. It's a mountain. People forget how hard it is to climb a mountain. It's very silly, frankly.
So you said it had destroyed shrines, even those to acknowledge its presence, or
Yes. When people would stand to worship, people did start to worship it, apparently. And it would destroy those shrines as well.
hmm. So you're saying this trinket might not be safe to take up there?
Well, I guess that depends how you think of it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how I would see it. I don't know how it determines that. I'm not an expert on this thing. I just know the stories that I've heard. And not even that well. I'm giving you my brief remembrance of what the stories are.
Sure, but it appears this was of your making, is it not?
Yes.
Well, why did you make it?
He stares at you. He kind of narrows his eyes. And then sighs.
It's quite a. It looks like quite a lot of work. It must have held some meaning.
He moves a couple pieces of the keyboard. I saw it once.
Adam just blinks a couple times. You have?
I was heading up the mountains to. There was a shortcut cutting through one of the northern areas to head to another town up there. I was making a shortcut. I had stopped for the night, and I was working on some more figures and such. And then I had camped next to a small pond, and it just flew down and landed beside my camp. It's not, it wasn't huge. It's as big as a house, as you would think a creature like that would be, but it wasn't, for as old as it is, it's not as big as you would think it'd be. It didn't attack me, didn't even seem to acknowledge me. It just kind of drank from the pond and then just flew away. I couldn't not look at it. It was hard to not look at.
That really
I
happened.
see.
I made the figure, didn't I?
I guess so. You weren't dreaming or nothing?
I don't give a shit. Well, I don't really give a shit if you think I was dreaming or not. You bought the damn thing.
Not my money.
Yeah, he bought the thing.
Adam just nods.
He's awful defensive for someone who's lying. Or maybe... yeah, well, you know. He might have been drunk.
He starts glaring at Lyle.
I'm just saying.
Oh.
Could've-
All right, Sean, calm down.
Lyle shrugs and just goes back to listening quietly.
I think this has been a rather enlightening conversation. And I thank you for your time.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Just stop crowding me. I'm trying to focus on this game.
Good luck.
Grumbles.
Adam goes and puts the trinket into a particular component of his pack where he's keeping the Oni horn and another animal trophy that he's kept. And then he looks around to the others. But, well, I feel like I've learned something. You guys want to keep looking around?
How about something to eat before we go get killed by a angry atheist bug dragon?
Ano doesn't really respond, just kind of like nods without even hearing what Adam is saying and still looking at the mountain.
Mm.
What's wrong, Napana? You've been staring at that mountain this entire time.
Just got a bad feeling.
Zell leans in. Did it steal your lunch? I could share my berries with you if you'd like.
No, that's fine, thank you.
If you're worried about climbing, we could probably fashion some sort of backpack that Adam can carry you.
No. No. No.
Wow. Must be really psyched
I mean,
out
it
if you
could help.
you didn't even insult me with that one. Maybe we should rest in town before we go up the mountain.
Yeah, best to be prepared for a climb.
I mean, I agree with that wholeheartedly. We did just go through that desert.
Yeah, we are due for some rest.
Are you getting food or are you trying to rest? Are you
Why not
getting food
both?
and rest?
Why not both?
Oh, okay.
Sounds like
Well.
food is on the menu.
Food is indeed on the menu. You would have to pay, however, a coin from each of you to partake of the cafeteria's wares.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds
How many
good.
coins? Just one?
Just one.
You said a
Oh,
coin.
yes. Man,
It's not great. It's bread and then some soup.
wow.
Okay, bread
Alright,
and soup.
be like that then. Bread soup.
And some booze.
It-
And some
it's a-
booze.
Alright, some
Before-
booze. Alright.
Not great booze, but it'll do ya. The two older gentlemen take note of you all entering, you being basically the only civilians around. The other soldiers kind of like pay you no mind as they kind of go about their business. The two old men are like kind of staring at all of you as you take seats.
Mm.
They're staring at us.
They've probably never seen a man
Right
that
on.
this handsome before.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's gotta be.
Well, we don't exactly blend in. There's much to blend in with.
We probably should have put the disguise on auto. How's it going, oddball? You hanging in there?
Yes.
You coping with your existential dread alright over there?
Um. What's
Is that-
existential dread?
Offers him a berry.
Ask
Way to
your
go.
mom. Ask your mom. UA, what's existential dread? How are you coping with his existential dread?
Lyle, do you even know what existential dread is?
I experience existential dread every waking moment, especially lately.
She kind of is just kind of nibbling on her food and looking at Otto concernedly.
Nothing, huh? Well, I tried. Wow, shrugs, takes a bite of bread and washes it down with some booze. Good talk.
Yeah. One of you guys should probably investigate like what those guys are staring at us for, because Nippano is just kind of staring at their food with unfocused look, being very
Alright, I
useless
got
right now.
this. Well, I was gonna turn around. Hey, friends! God, please. God damn it. I hate it here. That's all his abilities for, is making me look stupid.
I mean, like Tori said, just engage them without trying to con them. Just like talk normally.
I'm just sizing them up.
You're not trying to swindle them.
I could be. You don't know that.
He's looking for an opportunity to swindle him.
Okay, then. Well,
Well, he
you're
doesn't
not
have
doing
one.
it. You're not swindling well.
I say,
They kind of know each other.
hey, friends,
Oh,
and
look
they
at that
just
one.
immediately
That
grimace.
one. It's one of those. One of those. He's one of those, isn't he? Oh yeah, total.
Well, I was gonna turn back
They start
around
mumbling to each other.
and be like, alright,
It's
well,
territorial.
I tried.
Oh my god.
Take another bite of my bread, wash it down with some booze. People here aren't very
Do we get
friendly.
another dragon amulet?
Nobody likes me here. I think they're jealous.
Yeah, that's what it is.
What, Jordan?
Thanks, Tori. I knew I could count on you.
He failed
Peter,
to roll.
shut up.
Do we get another take of the amulet?
I did. I
He
already
did.
took that.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep.
He's been doing it.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I didn't see.
Okay.
I'm in charge of charging the amulet. You guys are lucky to have me.
True.
I am appreciative.
Deal.
Not
I'm
wrong.
still going to play Tori as the straight man here. In this comedy.
I've just accepted my role as stooge.
These two old men are kind of giving Lyle the stink eye. You ever seen a motherfucker who looks like he thinks you're fucking some fucking crazy, like you're out to get him? Like you're
Yeah.
out to get that person? But you have no idea what the fuck why they think that about you?
I can feel them glaring
That's cool.
daggers at the back of my head. I'm just going to continue drinking them.
They keep mumbling. He's like, I bet he's one of those. It's like, yeah, yeah.
Maj,
he is."
Can
Yeah,
we
what's up?
hear them whispering like this?
You hear a couple words every so often. It's like, he's one of those. It's like, oh, he must be with them. You know, it's like, oh, you can never trust one of those people.
Can I home in and hear exactly what they're saying? Can I like discern realities on that? Or
Sure.
maybe defy danger?
This is more discern realities. There's not really a danger here. They're very old.
It's up to you.
I had defy danger pulled up. I want to do that one.
All right. You get one question.
Hmm. Just one, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say what here is not what it appears to be.
What here is not what it appears to be.
Yeah, is there something maybe deeper going on around here?
I mean, there must be, right? There must be. Something must be off here.
Mm-hmm.
I think you notice that there are not enough people here. And now that you've been here for a minute, you kind of realize that this doesn't actually be as many guards as you think there should be. And there's not enough people to the carts that you see. There's not that many carts, but it kind of doesn't seem like there's enough people around.
What time of day is it?
I mean, I was gonna probably assume it's probably like 1 or 2 o'clock right now. Maybe
In the
stretching
afternoon.
into 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Yeah.
But the market is kind of dead.
Well, it's not even much of a market, but it just kind of strikes you as odd. There should be more soldiers about. It's a fort, but there's not that many people around.
It's a little weird. I'm gonna look over at Napano and say, "Hey, have you noticed that there isn't that many people around here? I feel like even though we're in probably the only settlement around for miles, doesn't seem like the population matches the surroundings. Have you
To be
noticed
clear,
that?"
this isn't a town. This is just a fort.
Just a fort. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a fort that's like kind of got a little market slash small village outside.
No, there's like a little like they've turned the courtyard of this fort into kind of a semi marketplace for people passing through. But like, so there's like a couple stalls, but there's not that much space. But the amount of guards here is odd. There's not enough guards here.
All right. Well, I say all that to Napano.
Do the older guys look like soldiers, or at least
No,
in the
they just look
military?
like
Just old
no, they
guys.
just,
Okay.
just look like old guys.
Kind of look around as if noticing their surroundings for the first. No, I guess we hadn't noticed. Sorry, we've just got a lot on our mind. Why don't you ask around? Maybe one of the soldiers.
We always go back to that lucky guy.
Maybe maybe I'll try this table of old people just to see what happens. I'm feeling a little bold today.
Go for it.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
so what's
get up and cross over to the table where these old people are motoring.
They go silent as you approach and kind of lean away from you,
Gazelle walks over too.
giving you both now the stink eye.
No.
Gonna size the three of them up and kind of nod and say, "Hey, what's with the cold shoulder? We're just passing through. We don't want any trouble."
That's what they all say. Yeah, that's what they all say.
How long have you guys been in this fort for?
Who's asking?
Barry is. Gazelle holds over Barry.
What the fuck is that?
This is Barry.
They let you in the fort with that?
He's my friend.
We had to cut his head off first. That was my doing.
No.
Gazelle feeds Barry a berry.
Yes, it was. Shut up. Silence, Otto. I'm speaking.
Get him.
Just curious. It doesn't seem like there's that many people here, guards in relation to the fort that seems proportional to the size. Something going on in this fort? Where is everybody? Where are all the guards?
They kind of look at each other. They kind of look back at you. Why should we talk to you at all? Huh?
Gazelle
What's in
offers
for
them
us?
a handful of berries. Well, you
Nah,
can have
nah.
any of my berries.
Keep your stinky bears out of my face.
They're berries. They're
Otto offers crackers.
Oh my gosh.
Keep your crackers to yourself, man. Why should we talk to a bunch of weirdos who come out of nowhere? Suspicious is what you all are.
I don't know. You're pretty suspicious to me.
Well, we're not over there mumbling about you. I just came over because I wanted to talk a little bit about this town, well, this fort. Maybe I get some questions answered. And since you old folks seem to be here and know things, I figured I'd ask you. Didn't think that I had to explain all that to you, but you get slow
Well,
and old in your old age, huh?
Damn, got him.
Why should we tell you anything? Huh? We're not obligated to tell you shit, kid.
I suppose
Don't you
not.
want to make friends? Making friends is always nice.
Well, if you're not suffering from any sort of issues, then I guess I don't give a shit. I'm only passing through anyway. But if you did have some sort of problem, we are a capable bunch who have a lot of resources available. We can do a lot of interesting things. Looking for work, basically. The reason I ask is because...
So hard.
Nope. Hush. The reason I ask is because I'm looking for something. I want to know about the legend of the blacksmiths in the mountain. I figure some old people like you would have some answers about that.
This sounds like a parlay roll, because you're offering your services in exchange for information.
Yes.
This is a parlay.
Gonna go ahead and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Fuck.
Yikes.
Damn.
They did not like my attitude.
Do we get advantage? Because Gazelle's helping?
I'll give you one die of advantage, so roll another d6.
Roll another d6. All right.
Yes. You rolled a 3.
Still not good enough.
Right.
Got it up to a
Well,
Well,
you have a -1 to parlay, or to your charisma,
That negative charisma, though.
5.
so you have a 5.
Nice. That would be a fail.
That's still a fail. Well, guess what? That ticks up.
Well,
6. Ooh. Okay.
Hey, we're
Yeah.
maxed out.
Yeah, that's what they all say. They all, every fucking youngin' comes in and says, "Oh, we can take care of your problem. Oh, we're adventurers." Yeah, you're all full of shit.
I'm
You're all
probably
full of
older
shit.
than you, old man.
Oh yeah, how old are you?
I can't remember.
Neither can I. So that's making you special.
Gazelle narrows his eyes.
He narrows his eyes back. The other guy like, just leave us alone, kids. Mind your own damn business.
Lyle's
The
gonna
last
watch
thing I
this with
punched
entertainment.
turned into a crater.
Yeah, well, the last thing I punched broke my hand. Big whoop.
I guess all they don't want to. They ain't buying what I'm selling, so this is all you, buddy.
Hey, Barry. Gazelle looks over at Barry.
Mer?
Why don't you try talking to them?
He nods.
Waves Barry in front of them, pushes at them with Barry.
And they just kind of stare at Barry as he tries to start talking. And you understand Barry perfectly, and Barry makes a perfectly reasonable argument of why they should give him you guys information, and why it'd be beneficial to be in your good graces. And they just like stare at him because you're the only one who understands Barry.
Hmm.
And they don't really respond. And then Barry looks at you
He makes
dejected.
perfectly valid points.
Barry looks at you very dejected and sad.
Wow.
It's okay, Barry. Here, have a berry. Well,
Lyle's gonna watch this with mild amusement. Turn back, take down the rest of his drink, and then I'm going to ask you, the DM, what my assessment is of there being. Well, let me put it this way. This is a fort, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, asking for a DM interpretation, I have an ability that lets me reach out to, quote, the criminal underbelly. Now, I don't know that there would be a criminal underbelly in a fort necessarily, but there might be some shady characters, doing a little bit of black market or underhanded stuff, a little bit of smuggling, get cigarettes for the guards and shit like that. Would my ability be useful to extend into something like that, or is that stretching too far?
It's got a roll associated with it, yes?
Yes. It's a roll.
Alright, well, I would say that there are shady people everywhere, and they might not be connected necessarily to some big organization, but there's definitely, some people do dirt. People do dirt everywhere. There's always someone who does dirt.
So, it's a valid roll to make.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I could sniff out some shady fellows.
Okie dokie. Don't fuck this up.
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
Holy
That is as
All right,
good as
well,
it's gonna get.
perfect roll.
15, boy, what the fuck?
Damn.
You know what? Maybe he has been sandbagging it just to fill the amulet, and now that it's full.
Alright, well, okay.
Well, I was
So,
like, alright, enough
this
of these,
com-
trying to make friends with normal people. I'm gonna go find this fucking scum. That's where I fucking shine.
I'm pretty sure you just fucking rubbed the genie lamp or some shit, because like that's like now I really need some awesome answers. What's a real criminal look like? Oh yeah, fucking magic genie.
Let me give you an interpretation of how this goes. You guys, this conversation with these two little guys fizzles out and kind of goes nowhere. You guys go back to your table. While you alright, well, there's got to be someone here who knows some dirt. So you look around. You find hints of the signs of there's some people who do dirt here.
Pass some
And
inside
you leave a
check.
message. Yeah. You leave a message, kind of subtly, that only people who are in the know would know. And you guys kind of go back. You get rooms in the boarding house, basically the barracks for the community barracks, which is pretty vacant as it stands. And you start setting up, putting your stuff there to get rest and start taking stock of what you got and what you need to get. And at some point in that time, when you kind of step out of the room, you come back, there is a message on your bed, Lyle.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you're looking for? Exactly.
I suppose I'm putting the word out for what's going on around here. If you were to have me ask a discern realities question, it's what's happened here or something. I'm trying to get the lay of the land. If there's something shady or underhanded or sinister going on here, I want dirt. If it's, whether it's, corrupt politicians or a fucking angry atheist dragon eating people, Is that too vague?
No, that's perfect. I mean, it's whatever you ask for. So
Sure.
I'm gonna give you an idea of so
What's
The
going
message.
on around here?
you get a message. You read the message, and the message kind of points you to head to a certain spot in the fort. And you're like, okay. So you wait a little bit, and then you head out. You take there's probably a nook or cranny outside of a building where there's a window that's kind of barred and covered. And you take a seat on a barrel that's kind of in the shadow, in the shade.
Right.
And then you hear a knock, you know, a signal on the other side of the wall.
Knock back.
And then you hear a voice say to you, like, what do you want to know? And you relay your question. Like, what's going on here? Like, what's happening here? Something's off.
Where's all the guards?
And the voice talks back. Where are all the guards? And the guy tells you, they're on an assignment nearby, and they've been gone for a while. There's some ruckus going on near the foot of the mountain, a little bit to the south of here. Evidently, a town nearby kind of went silent, and they were investigating. And they came back, and they didn't seem to find anything, except the town was empty. Stuff was kind of left where it lay, and, you know, a bit weird, all things said. But they came back, and then they seemed kind of off, if I'm being frank. Something was off. And then, about a week ago, they took more of the garrison and set back off toward that town. And they haven't come back. There's been no word, and it's just kind of been quiet.
I see. So the soldiers went to a nearby settlement that had supposedly went silent. They came back a little off, took more people with them, and have yet to return. Ominous. Who's in charge here?
Well, right now it's... Hold on, I have to pick a name. Lieutenant Tao.
Lieutenant Tao.
Oh.
Very good.
And the commander took all the men was Hano.
Commander Hano. Interesting. I guess one last question is just any stock in the old people's rumors that a dragon might have eaten all those people?
What, the thing that's supposed to be on the mountain? Well, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It's just a story as far as I'm concerned. I haven't seen that. So, who knows if it's real.
Yeah,
People
who knows?
stay away from the mountain. Yeah.
Is that right? What was this town that disappeared? Or went radio silent? Or bird silent? Messenger pigeon silent?
Town's called Winsong.
Winsong.
Yeah. Well, the people disappeared. At least that's what they said.
Well, Only one way to know for sure. Thanks, friend. Lyle's gonna get up, and he's gonna open the barrel he was sitting on, drop 5 gold in it, and then be about his way.
Pleasure doing business.
Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna slink back to the barracks we rented out. I don't know if everybody's asleep or not.
It's not that late. It's like getting closer to 7 or 8.
Okay, so it's not like, dead of night sort of deal.
No, but the sun's going down.
Yeah,
It's the shape. The shadows are longer now.
gotcha. Okay. Well then, what's the rest of the party doing? I should ask.
Tori's gonna still be awake. She's just going to be kind of minding the gear, kind of looking at what we have, what we don't have.
Okay. Well then, when Lyle comes in, he's gonna say, "Hey Tori, you wanted to buy me a drink, didn't you?"
Oh. Yeah. I did say that, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. You, well, it's kind of late, but do you want to go now?
Yeah, let's go now.
Oh, okay. Just the two of us, or do you want me to get everybody else up?
Oh, well, just the two of us sounds kind of nice and intimate, but, that's up to you, darling.
I don't know if anybody is awake. Hang on. I don't know what the rest of the party's doing.
What's the state of the
you know
rest of you?
Let's just. Oh, yeah. What's everybody else doing?
Adam is still just kind of closely examining the trinket he just bought. The way it was described, it's a pretty artisan craft, not too far unlike some of the things he'd seen his people make back home.
Really into that thing.
Otto's probably with UA.
What are they doing?
I don't know much. What's UA doing?
UA's probably prepping some supplies, some things she gathered, and making some ointments and shit. The medicine
I'm
thing.
helping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be good boys. Napano's still out of
What's
it.
Gazelle doing?
I don't really have any plans until nighttime, so I'm probably like meditating or spacing out or whatever.
Okay, well, I was gonna assess the state of the rest of the party. I don't even need to know what Gazelle's doing. He's probably, talking to Barry.
He's feeding. He found a squirrel, and he's feeding Barry a squirrel.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
well.
that's even worse. How about just the two of us?
Nice.
Well, with all that said, I guess, yeah, if we can go, just you and I.
Okay.
Look, as Barry's getting bigger, he's easy to eat more.
He's a growing boy. Growing young lad. Alright, well, I don't need to make this a big scene. Let's just say that Lyle bummed a couple drinks and maybe a hamburger, or, the closest thing that bread soup gets to hamburger. Maybe a little bit of meat chunks thrown into it. Off of Tori, and lays out what he heard from us sleuthing around He said, like, yeah, the old people thing wasn't really working out too great for us. So, I did some asking around. Basically learned that Lieutenant Tao, is the guy in charge here, and Commander Hano under him has led an expedition out to a settlement of Wensong, and that some weird shit happened. A lot of they lost communication. They went check out Wensong. Apparently, the town was deserted. When the soldiers came back, they were acting a little off, and Hano brought the garrison out, a larger company to go investigate further, and they have yet to return. And I was going to add on top of that he's getting some flesh spider heebie-jeebies, and he's not so sure that we should be hanging around here no more. If Tori has any questions for Lyle, we could discuss that. Otherwise, we could probably just go back and relay it to the rest of the party.
Well, I think the only question that I think she has on her mind at the moment is, do you think it's something that we should get involved in?
Absolutely not. But it could end up being an obstacle to us going up this mountain and looking for these sages. So, it's a matter of whether or not we want to abandon that endeavor.
It also cause us to waste a lot of time, too. I don't necessarily want to take on the responsibilities of every new region that we go to pull them out of trouble. It's the right thing to do, yes, but, I mean, maybe we should investigate. Maybe if we find out that it is in fact Gladys activity, we can do something, but if it's just some weird cult shit, we should maybe just leave it alone.
I have no idea if it's Gladys or weird cult shit. I don't want to get involved either way. However, if it is Gladys nonsense, coming out here could be a lost cause. We might need to abandon Sun Hong. Granted, it does sound like the weapons in this forge from these sages could be vital to stopping the Gladys, and whether we are personally invested in Sun Hong or not, that is probably important. However, it's also a possibility that our enemies have thought of that and head us off, and we could be walking into a trap. So, Lyle's going to put it this way. He's like, I'm going to put it up to you whether we should tell the others about this or not, because good chance we could get drug into something really dangerous and unsavory if we tell the others, but there might not be any avoiding that. Anyway, as the only one with any sort of, let's say, leadership responsibilities around here, I'm gonna put that weight on your shoulders. Sorry, love.
Well, first let me say, good job finding all that out. Sometimes I forget that you're as resourceful as you are.
I can be useful sometimes, occasionally. You're welcome.
Well, on the one hand, it isn't exactly our problem. And there's enough Gladys to go around for everybody at this point. It seems like they're almost everywhere we go. This is something I feel like we should talk with the rest of the group about. But
Probably
I
right.
don't see the value. This place is a very small fort. It doesn't have much in the way of anything out here. We're really only here to get these weapons, and then we want to go back.
I'm sure the fort and Wen Song are pretty useless to us. It's just a matter of what implications the goings on here have for the rest of the region, and whether or not that means that we should stick around.
I don't want to abandon the dogs. Excuse me. I don't want to abandon these people either, especially if they're just being dragged away by the Gladys. Maybe we should investigate it.
Suppose we can put it to a vote.
Yeah, let's go convene. Also, how was the food?
You know, I've had better, but you know, not paying for it makes it taste a little bit better.
It's definitely not a feast that an empress could throw for you, and I mean, this slop doesn't even look good.
Sometimes sustenance is all the reward it is.
Sometimes sustenance is all the reward it is. I'm gonna imagine that there's a lot of depth to that. It's just escaping me right now.
You know, maybe I will say the drink's not actually that bad, and that might have had something to do with that. You'll just have to accept it for what it is at this point.
Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
I guess. What are your plans after all this is done? We, valiantly destroy the Gladys and go our separate ways.
Suppose I haven't thought about it a lot. Or, I guess that's not true. I don't know. It depends on how things shake out. Maybe I'll just go back to Alteraam and, ripping off people in dice games behind brothels.
If that's what you really want to do. I was going to offer you there's a lot of free real estate, I suppose. Open houses up in my village. I could put you up somewhere. I have that sort of power now. You kind of strike me as somebody who's just living with the clothes on his back, so you've been very helpful and kind to me. I'd hate to think of you just shivering out in the cold somewhere looking for work.
Oh, Tori. That's so sweet. You're gonna give a little old me a little roof over my head and maybe a nice job. I could be your personal vizier, or I'm really good at back rubs too.
It's kind of tempting. I just don't think you know how to handle wings at all.
There's only one way to find out.
You're a bold one. I'll give you that. No, this Gladys stuff, it does worry me. And having somebody who's seen as much as I have by my side wouldn't be too bad. So, I don't need you to answer now, but think about it, okay?
Think about it, I shall. Lyle's going to hold up what's left of his drink as a little toast motion and then shoot the rest of it down.
Tori's going to motion the same.
Okay, well, we could say we went back to the barracks and filled everybody else in on what we discussed and start getting opinions, unless somebody else has something else they want to do. What say you, Majid?
Not really.
Take charge.
Point of order, Mage, is the Wensung, you said it was at the foot of the mountain. Is it possible for us to avoid it if we go up the mountain, or is it something we have to pass through no matter what if we're going up?
I mean, there's a lot of places you can start climbing the mountain. What you want is the central mountain in the main central range. This is Windsong is kind of like over here. It's a way to get into the mountain range. You could go that way. You don't have to by any means. You could entirely ignore it.
Would you say
It
it's the
would be
most
just
direct?
fine.
Sorry, I was gonna say, would you
What?
say it's the most direct route to get into there from here?
It's the closest route to lead into the mountains.
Okay.
It's not
Okay,
necessarily
well-
the most direct, but it is the closest.
We should probably go check it out just to know what we're dealing with. See whether it is Gladys or some local business. And if it is Gladys, I'm sure the sages up on top of the mountain would like to know as well. Maybe they could even help us do something about it.
Or possibly be indebted to our services for taking care of a problem so close to home.
I'd rather not think about what could happen if one of those things takes over that dragon.
I was gonna say, it could be that the people on the mountain are infected too. That's also a terrifying option.
But I think that's all the more reason to try and stop it if we can.
Alright. So, we're going to at least see what we're dealing with, and then if it is Gladys, we're going to take him out. Is that what I'm hearing?
I would like to vote against that, but, I'm just one voice.
I'm up for punching some stuff.
We could have a whole garrison of infected soldiers waiting for us when we get there if the reason they were acting off is because they're infected and they just brought a whole bunch more soldiers over there.
Do we know how far away Wensong is? That's the name of the disappeared village, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
How far away is that?
If you take the cart, it'll be like if you set out in the morning, you get there by like 11.
Not bad.
It's not terribly far.
No, it's not terribly far.
It does make it strange that they still haven't returned yet.
At worst, I believe we would lose a day's travel cleaning up this mess, but
It'll be fine.
Will it?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'm glad you're confident.
I am too.
Otto like that.
Tori's gonna look over at Napano. Hey, are you feeling all right? Will a little time to prepare to go up the mountain help out? I know you're stressing a little bit.
We're not thrilled about going up that mountain, no, but it's something that we have to do.
You went up the mountain last time for me, but you don't have to do that again this time if you don't want to.
No, this is something we have to do.
Can we get like a barf bag of holding for you?
Otto laughing is something I've never.
Sorry.
You have
No,
a
it's
bag
great.
of holding. You could barf into the bag of holding.
Yeah, I was about to say, we have a bag of holding. You can
Well,
literally just use that.
Please don't
The bag
barf
of
in
hot-
that.
Don't barf into the weapons bag.
Please don't.
We can just barf into a snowbank. It's fine if
Ever-
we need to.
Every bad roll in that bag is gonna be like you grab a chunk of Napano's lunch.
Well, maybe the Emperor had a fear of heights, and there's something in that bag that'll help with that.
Maybe some of his puke's in there too.
You probably would have.
I'm known to get car sick.
Oh no.
When I'm not driving. That's all I'll say.
Maybe if it comes to that, we'll search in the bag for something that'll help. Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Alright, well, is
I would,
it...
I would probably hate the heights too. If my ears were that big, them popping is probably brutal. Sorry, did I say that out loud?
Probably good to retire early and get started early. Make sure we're all strong and ready for tomorrow.
Mm. Yeah, I'm still kind of buzzed. I think I'm gonna sleep it off. Unless anybody wants to join me. Any volunteers? No one. UA?
Gazelle offers Barry.
Sorry, no, not Bear. You know what? I'm going to bed. Bye.
Gazelle shrugs.
Don't worry, Barry, you'll get him yet.
Well, I was going to jump face down on the nearest bunk.
Oh, we should all retire, yeah. See you all first thing in the morning.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night, Barry.
Honk you, honk you. So where everyone sits to bed.
Yes. Is Nohano okay?
So, well, to put into context, like the previous night when Tori had her nightmare, Nippano didn't wake up, and most nights, if any of you get up, Nippano just looks indistinguishable from a corpse. Like they're stock still, they're hardly breathing. You can't even tell that they're alive, really. Tonight they are tossing and turning, and the owl is just kind of like standing on top of their bedroll and it's kind of got their wings outstretched as if like trying to shield them from something.
Oh.
Whoa.
Coo! Coo! Owl noises.
No, they're just being
Not now.
kind of silent.
Squawk! Squawk!
I'm too passed out to have this be our moment of bonding.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone has to be awake for this scene, but well, we can
What's
fast forward to the morning.
What's happening? Why is the owl doing that, Swim?
I don't know, they're acting weird.
Okay.
But if no one's awake to see it, then nothing happens.
Someone investigate!
Bonjay, Bonjay, who's
Are we
awake
all
to
in
see
the
it?
same room?
Are we all in the same bed?
I assume we were in
Yeah.
barracks, so it probably is.
I mean, it's a community barracks, so like, there's probably several beds in the same room.
Barry notices.
Wake up, Gazelle.
I'm gonna assume there's a girls' room and a boys' room, so the girls are in the room with the bird and Pano.
Theoretically. I don't know.
That is what I would figure too.
I mean, I assumed it was all just kind of gender neutral. You'd go outside if you need to do your business or whatever, but I mean, if we're camping in the woods or something, there's no separate rooms.
That's
That's
true.
it.
Jay, explain.
It's communal!
Bonjay, make
Everybody's
the
in the
call.
same room.
There are there are at least 2 other people in the same room.
Okay, I don't
Boys
care.
and
If someone
girls or
wants
what?
to volunteer to get up and use the bathroom and see, or if Otto is awake, whatever.
Otto will come over and try to
Protect you.
shake her awake.
I'll
Poke
just,
her at her.
when you reach out, the owl just kind of like looks up and stops you, and it's all right. They're just having a bad dream, having a nightmare.
Ah, that's you.
What did Owl say?
Shouldn't you wake them?
No, it'll pass. They need their strength for tomorrow. It's just difficult for them being here.
Why?
Owl kind of looks down and blinks several times and just kind of very slowly says, dreams have a way of bringing to front of mind things that might be lying dormant. Sometimes things that we would rather not think about.
So we don't wake them up.
No, they'll be fine. This will pass.
If you say so.
Just thank you for the concern. I think everyone probably has their own version of their own nightmares, whatever they're trying not to think about. Is there anything you're trying hard not to think about?
Most things.
On that note, Zell kind of groans in his sleep and then just farts really loudly.
Wow.
I'm trying really hard not to think about that.
Usually we make Gazelle sleep in the stables.
He sleeps in the cart.
It's all those slightly poisonous berries.
Sometimes we're very glad that we no longer have a sense of smell.
So are you real?
Am I real?
Yeah.
We're speaking, aren't we?
You kinda see through.
We are a little bit see-through. Yes, we're not all there. That doesn't make us not real.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you for your concern.
After after a few seconds, a certain red drake sort of meanders in, following a particular scent, with Adam trailing close behind it. The hell are you doing, boy? Adam just kind of looks ahead and sees Otto talking to the owl. Oh, but am I interrupting something?
No, it's all right.
Was having a bad dream.
Bad dream, huh? Mountain really bothering him, huh?
It's just a dream. It'll pass.
Adam kind of scratches his head for a second. Well, maybe this will help. Can't hurt. And with that, he reaches into his pack and pulls out. Few people have seen it before. Just what looks to be a small little music box. So he He just kind of sets it down nearby and winds it up and lets it start playing.
Here, I thought you were going to give them a mask to filter out the smell.
What is that?
It's a music box. It's just this. It's like a toy of sorts. You wind this thing up here, and because of how it's crafted, it will play sound.
I see.
And this one in particular was a song that was played in my village when I was smaller. At least I'm pretty sure that's where it's from.
You've kept
This
it.
is from your village?
Yes. It was it's a family heirloom.
I see.
Well, thank you.
But
Sounds pretty.
but hopefully the sound is soothing to a degree. I can come grab it in the morning.
Roger's gonna watch Napano for any sign of change.
No, they're still, sleeping very restlessly. But they're not, waking up despite everyone crowding around them. Being weird.
Being weird.
You're the one who sleeps with a fucking owl.
Owl normally doesn't sleep with them. The owl typically will sit in a tree or rafters or some high place, and they kind of stay up all night looking around for danger. They don't need to sleep, so may as well be the permanent scout at night.
And with that, Adam looks around, realizes that what Shere Khan was following was coming from Gazelle.
Well, it wasn't. Gazelle's probably not in this room necessarily. It's probably moving away from Gazelle because he just ripped ass.
That's probably true. That's probably true.
Farted so
Yeah,
loudly that the Drake
It's like,
got
oh,
startled away.
that smell is bad.
You
Ran
didn't,
away.
you didn't hear it. Probably just smelled like.
yeah, he's just
Get daddled out of there.
yeah. So it's now Shere Khan's kind of trying to. mosey
Aircon is
back out.
just a dog.
Sure, Carl's gagging like that.
So with that, Adam just kind of yawns and. All right, well, I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you both for checking.
Adam nods and moses back over after Shere Khan.
Otter's gonna go back to sitting outside the rooms.
And then the rest of the night passed without incident.
Or did it?
Or did it?
Or did it?
Or did it?
Mage?
Maji is too tired now to come up with nightmares. So you'll have to wait till
No.
next time to see if someone has a nightmare. So everyone goes to bed with the uncertainty of the morning looming on the horizon. And
Every
thus-
night for me.
The curtain falls for today.
Come on.
Damn.
Do the questions, Mother.
No questions? Did you discover something new? Yes. 1 XP. Did you overcome an enemy? No.
No.
Did you change the location in a significant way? No.
No.
Not
You
really.
1 XP.
I failed like 6 times and then super succeeded.
You failed twice, so you got 2 XP for your failures.
Hell yeah.
But you also filled the amulet.
I did feel the amulet. You're welcome, guys.
Is it you get an XP every time you succeed a check or fail a check?
When you fail.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So 7 does not count.
7 is not a fail.
I think I've resolved my bonds with Otto and Tori in the last couple sessions. So when I think of new ones, I will write them down, but I will claim 2 experience for doing that.
Yeah.
But I will deal with that in a little bit.
And then we had some trips coming up, so the next time we were going to meet was going to be the 10th, right?
Yes,
I believe the 10th is
Yeah,
the
we're
next
gonna-
one.
Try for the 10th and the 17th, right?
That was some fun.
Yes.
2 weeks in a row, damn.
We will do the
And then
10th.
I'm assuming we're missing the 24th, but
I think we're going to be gone for a little bit after the 17th, which is why we were going to try and sneak in one more.
Yeah.
okay. So 2 weeks like normal before things get weird. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
Well, let's say bye to
And-
YouTube.
Bye,
Bye,
YouTube.
YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye.
YouTube. Butts. House.
Dicks.
Let's...
Virginia. Hanging out with the boys at Spandex, I see.